Little day in the life of a John Deere field service tech. Come along with me and we'll see what we can get done today. So we're here at the shop this morning. We're going to be picking up some parts for our job this morning. So we've got all our parts loaded up. Got quite a few here. Some of them we're going to be installing today and some of them we're going to be just dropping off for the customer. And then we've got some special tools that we loaded up as well. So we're ready to hit the road. So we're out here working on a 8260R today. We had about a 2-hour drive from the shop this morning. We got a bunch of stuff on the front of the engine here we're going to take care of, so kind of show you as I'm working on it. So I did a green light inspection on this tractor a couple weeks ago, and a couple of things that the customer wanted fixed was these front dampeners here starting to wobble, and I've got a front main seal just starting to leak, so we're going to change all that out. While we've got, in order to get to that, we got to take the cover here off, which is part of the water pump cover. So we're going to go ahead and change the water pump as well. This tractor's got, I want to say 6,000 hours on it. So I didn't think it's ever had a water pump put in it. So definitely time for that. So we're going to do that as well. And fan drives here, got some wear. It's had the updated driver put on it, but the driven is still original, but they both seem to be in pretty good shape, besides just needing bushings and seals. So I think I'm just going to put new bushings and seals in both of them, save them some money without having to change the whole fan drives, both of them out. So in order to get to the front main seal here, we got to take this hub here off, which on these, the hub holds both of the dampeners here. On previous models, the dampener itself would press onto the crankshaft. On the newer ones now, they bolt them through this hub, which makes them changing the dampeners a lot easier. But if you have to change the front main seal, you got to take this hub off there. Hub is on a tapered shaft, or yeah, the crankshaft's still tapered on these. So you got to use the special tools to pull it off there without hurting yourself. So I'll kind of show you how to take it off of there. First off, we're going to take the bolt out of the center here, 30 millimeter. Next, we're going to use our bolt from our special tool here. We're going to thread it in there. This has got a shoulder on it, so it stops from when we go to pulling on this, that it does not go flying off of here. We've got it on there and it's tight. You can see the gap between the shoulder here and the inside of the hub there. So it's got a 1/4 to 1/2 inch gap there where that thing can come off. We've got the puller attached on there. It's got 4 bolts. And then you've got the pusher bolt there. It's got a kind of a tit on the end of it, so it lines up perfectly with the bolt head there. It's got a notch in it there. So now we're gonna tighten this up a little bit, and then we're gonna use some heat to heat this hub up just a little bit, just enough to get the Loctite. It's got 680 bearing mount in there on the crankshaft, and we just need it just enough to make that break loose, and then we can tighten it up some more and it should pop off of there. We're gonna add a little bit of heat to this hub right here. There she went. Gonna have some pressure on it, put a little bit of heat. Come right off of there. So you can see there's quite a bit of force on that when it popped loose. So if you didn't have the correct puller on there and it doesn't have a stop there, the thing will come off and hit that radiator. We'll let it cool off. We'll take that bolt out of there and then we'll pull it off of there. Got the new seal installed. Use the appropriate seal driver here. There is the tool number. Tool number for the hub puller is that right there. The P2 means part 2. This one's part 1. So we got our hub here. We got a little bit of Loctite on it. We're going to rotate it around a little bit, kind of spread that Loctite out, and then we're going to stick a new bolt in there as well. So we've got the hub on there. We've got a new bolt in there. You always want to change the bolt when you're doing this. One-time use. And we got the 3/4 inch torque wrench. Got it set to 355 foot-pounds. We do have the locking pin holding the flywheel, so when I tighten this down, the engine will not turn over. Ready to pull out the water pump. I've got the puller on there right now. On these newer 9 liters here, they've got a plug right here that you have to pull out, and there's a rod that goes up in there, and that's what actually holds the water pump in place. The older style had a snap ring that you'd have to compress and then try to pull it out at the same time. These are a little nicer because you just pull the plug out. It does drain a bunch of oil, so you want to put the plug back in while you're working on it. And just pull the rod out of there, and then put your puller on there and pull the pump out. Water pump is out. Got the new water pump in there. New water pumps come with a seal, with an installer. Slides in there. Usually you can put a pry bar against it and just push it in, and it'll usually pop into place. This one, there really wasn't no space, so I put a bolt in there and pried on it, and it just popped right into place. Also, with a new water pump, you get the fitting here that pushes the rod up in there. When you tighten it down, it damages the plastic here. It's designed like that, and so you have to replace this every time you pull that rod out of there. We got the new dampeners on. We got the water pump cover on, all the bolts in. We got our coolant lines hooked up. Now we're ready for fan drives. So we'll rebuild our fan drives, and then we'll get them installed back on here. So we got it all back together, got the fan drives rebuilt, new bushings and seals, new belt, new rubber boot there. Got the coolant back in it. Use my refiller, my snap-on refiller, to pull a vacuum on the system, make sure we didn't have a leak, and then sucked in new coolant. Make sure by using the refiller, you pull a vacuum on the system, that way you don't have any air in the system. So we're ready to fire it back up. We'll make sure we don't have any leaks, and then we'll be done for the day. We ran the machine, made sure we didn't have any leaks, so we're good to go now. Customer will be ready to put this one in the field. He's hoping to plant corn here in the next couple weeks, so got it ready for that. So we'll head on home, call it a day. So before we make it home, gotta stop by, check all my cows. We've been having some baby calves every day, so see if we got any new ones.